everybody, my name is Kirsten Spree-well and I'm a mental health therapist in Atlanta, Georgia. This is my blog, Spree-isms. It's all about mental health and finding ways to protect your peace. This is blog 1. When I tell people I'm a therapist, there's so many different things I hear. So before I even get into doing these vlogs, I just want to erase all the misconceptions and get some things straight. So that's what we're talking about today. One of the first misconceptions I hear from people in my community, the Black community, is all about, oh, well, I don't need to talk to anybody. I don't need anybody all up in my business. The secrets that they have, or just the mistrust they have for people in this field. And what I say to that is we have to progress. We have to move on. When we minimize someone who's struggling with depression, or a child who can't focus in class to you just need to pray about it, or they probably just need a whooping, that's like telling somebody who has cancer, you just need a little more God in your life. No, they need a doctor. Just like someone who has anger issues or is suffering from paranoia needs unbiased professional guidance. Another misconception I hear is that I don't really need a therapist. I have friends with common sense that can give me some good advice. There's a few things wrong with that. One of them is that your friend isn't helping you process what would be the best decision for you, like a therapist would. They're telling you what they would do. That's just simple advice. Also, sometimes your friends give you advice to do something based on how it will affect them, which isn't cool. But my other major issue is based on the facts, which state that when you and the other person have an uneven amount of baggage, it takes a toll on the relationship. i.e., your friend gets tired of hearing that shit. He just don't tell you. Another misconception that I want to talk about is the idea that therapists get all up in your business and tell you what's wrong with you. That's like Dr. Phil or something. Dr. Phil's always blaming and putting people to shame. But that's an unrealistic portrayal of how therapy works. Most therapists are all about helping you understand why you behave the way you do and helping you process ways to get past that. Therapy ain't about throwing shade on the client. It's about pushing you to be a better version of yourself in the way that you best respond to. Therapy ain't about being crazy either, which is the next misconception I want to talk about. It's about pulling those strengths out of you to become a victor in life rather than a victim. It's empowering, not discouraging. Another misconception I hear about often is that if you go to therapy, they're just going to try and give you some antidepressants or some type of anxiety medication. But this isn't true. Most therapists work from a holistic perspective, so they try and work with you on the root of the issue rather than just sweeping those symptoms under the rug. The medical model is about medicating, and that's usually when somebody has a chemical imbalance, and those are for extreme cases. It's kind of like that saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. When you're working with a therapist, you're going to be working on putting out the fire rather than just clearing out the smoke. Okay, and the last misconception is something that I hear all the time. It's kind of funny. It's what we see in movies a lot. The therapist that has you laid across the couch and keeps asking, so how do you feel about that? Well, in real life, therapists ask much more difficult questions than that, and it can be much more interactive depending on the style that you want or how the therapist operates.